Hello, I am Brian Foster, and today I'm talking about a communication from the Spirit brother Guilherme. He talks about a new era. It was recorded, or actually I should say psychographed, by the medium Lúcio de Marinho during a medium's meeting on April 25th, 2020. Before I begin, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like button so we can spread these messages from high spirits all over the world so we can understand how we need all of us to change, modify our behavior, and become more ascendants. Ascendants not only in just our outward appearance, but our inward nature, our amount of love and fraternity and charity for us to bring the whole earth up to a new level. And this is what he's talking about. I will now read the passage that he sent. Time advances, the time of eternity. The struggle for good against evil advances in transformative intentions. Never has man needed so much balance and common sense to guide himself in the face of life's struggles. The sun of transcendental revelations appears on the horizon, where the search for spiritualization of being becomes a matter of life and no longer death. Now stop there for a second. What does he mean? Well, as we've been told by spiritist literature, the earth is becoming a planet of regeneration. We are starting that process. Right now we are a planet of atonement. A planet of atonement is where we live our lives in learning the lessons of how not to do what we did in previous lives. We are atoning for our wrongs in previous lives. It's a hard trial. It's difficult. It's the vicissitudes of life, the ups and downs. It's not an easy life being on earth, but it will get better because as we approach the planet of regeneration, things will be more smooth. We'll have less wrongs to atone for. And this is why he says, never has man needed so much balance and common sense to guide himself in the face of life's struggles. There is a war going on. The lower spirits, the ones who are in the lower zone in the dark abyss, do not want the planet to be an advanced planet. Why? Because they will be sent to other planets. On a planet of regeneration, we will not have these lower, inferior, malevolent spirits around us giving us bad ideas, right? Because we're surrounded by a sea of spirits. And that's why it's important for us to focus, to learn to use our conscience and our instinct to filter out bad ideas, filter out urges to be angry or urge for revenge or say something stupid to someone or gossip about someone unneedfully. Therefore, he says, we really need to brace ourselves. And he says, it becomes a matter of life and no longer death. That's what the search of spiritualization. It's really life to be able to live on a planet of regeneration. Let me read the next section. Despite the sublime light of the Star King that emerges each morning, man still travels in the shadows of himself. It is prudent that he recognizes the time of change, investing in knowledge that frees him from the bonds of thoughtless and destructive acts of greater values. Even though it navigates in the shadow of ignorance, the human creature is protected under the laws of love, justice, and mercy of God, which never ceases to provide opportunities for the resumptions of lessons not learned. Another very revealing passage. Our culture, he's talking directly about our culture, frees him from the bonds of thoughtless and destructive acts of greater values. What does that mean? It means that we are in this culture, we are driven to succeed, driven to want more material goods. And we want more and more and more, and we'll do anything to achieve that. Of course, that is diametrically opposed to where we should be. We should say we don't need material goods. I'm not saying that we cast off everything, but we have a balance. We don't ruthlessly destroy our opponents in order to walk over their bodies to gain what we wish to gain. We nurture each person. We nurture ourselves, our families, our friends, our colleagues at work. We help raise them as much as we try to raise ourselves. And that is how we have to be. And this is what he says, it's protected under the laws of love, justice, and mercy of God, which is, and he says again, which never ceases to provide opportunities for the resumptions of lessons not learned. If we just make the effort, doors will open for us to help other people, to help ourselves, to atone for what we've done wrong in the past. Even though we've made some bad decisions, if we say, okay, that was a bad decision. I hurt people on my way to the top. I've done that. That's why I rejected trying to rise into management, because to rise into management in the modern American corporation means you have to step over and treat people unfairly. I finally decided, I'm not doing that. It was hard for me, but that is what they ask you to do. Now let me carry on. As long as it does not completely light up, removing any trace of obscurity from itself, the angelic being by nature will continue to carry in his soul the hardships of pain and suffering, inevitable for the circumstantial and meritorious repair, within the grand law of readjustment of the cause and effect. What is he telling us? Well, he's saying that we always, within us, we carry the knowledge of what we've done wrong, not consciously, but it's in our spirit. Our spirit brain exists on the other side, on the spirit realm. It's connected to our body by the paraspirit, but it's always there with us. It's that knowledge that we have things to repair. And that's why, as much as we want to, right? When you're young and you have a conscience, you rationalize a way why you don't have to follow it, right? Everyone's done that. But finally, hopefully you start learning, like, it's not worth it. The stress is too great. It's like when you do something wrong, you just beat yourself up. It's like you feel terrible. And that's what he's saying. That the angelic being by nature will continue to carry in his soul the hardships of pain and suffering, inevitable for the circumstantial and meritorious repair, meaning that we know when we've done things wrong, even though some things are circumstantial, right? We just kind of had to behave in a certain way to survive, but we still want to repair that. And that's why he says that within the grand readjustment of the cause and effect, we know that for every action there is a reaction. Karma. Karma reigns supreme over us. It determines what our next life will be. Now we carry on. Experiencing the now with useful reflections on the past, embracing the future with the certainty of doing better today, are the precious notes that we must face in ourselves to create the harmonious and fruitful field for the splendid reach of the good news of Jesus and the definitive construction of the kingdom of God in us. That nothing could be clearer. We are a temple to Jesus Christ. And as we should worship Jesus, we should worship Jesus by improving ourselves. That is what they want. They want us to improve ourselves. Look at the earth of 7 billion people, each a grain of sand. Each person is responsible for improving their own character and personality. That is why we are here. That is the good news they want, for us, to each one of us, become better, become a nicer, more developed, advanced person, a civilized person that will enable us to really be part of the kingdom of God. We carry on. There is an urgent investment in loving one's neighbor as oneself, an unwavering faith that can face reason face to face in every age of humanity. Then, just like that, the man will recover in himself the nickname of man of the third millennium, of the world of regeneration, where good will prevail over evil, and of the earth fertilized with love. The message of the new age will flourish. So, if we, each one of us, try to become better, we, the collective humanity, by raising up our spiritual quotients, our harmony, and our vibration, will enable the whole earth to become an advanced planet. And when we become an advanced planet, evil will start to dissipate. Spirits who are not with the program will be sent to other planets. They've had their chance. They will have chances in other planets to improve. No one is ever left behind forever. But those who've chosen not to improve will be sent to other planets, and they'll have to go through another thousands of years of experiences to root out those primitive emotions. We are being promised that if we each try, we will live on our earth, fertilized with love. That's where we want to be. We want to be on an earth where chaos does not reign, where we don't have to go through the daily dramas and tribulations of life, where terrible sicknesses, hurt us badly, destroy loved family members, where those things are a thing of the past. That is all promised to us. But what is the price? The price is for us to be an improved person, a civilized person, not a I want it all, money grubbing, accumulation of wealth at any cost type of person. So, if you'd like to learn more about the spirit world and where we need to be and how to ascend spiritually, I suggest you read my book, How to Live, Inner Peace Through Spiritism. It tells you the steps we need to go through in order to take out our primitive emotions and replace those with a set of moral codes that has been determined by the spirit world to help us rise and ascend when we pass this earth and we go into heaven. God bless.